Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Is Wall Street buying up all the homes in America? If you're thinking about buying a home, you may find yourself interested in the latest real estate headlines so you can have a pulse on all of the things that could impact your decision. If that's the case, you've probably heard mention of investors and wondered how they're impacting the housing market right now. That could leave you asking yourself questions like, how many homes do investors own? Are institutional investors like Wall Street firms really buying up so many homes that the average person cannot find one? To answer those questions, here's the real story of what's happening based on the data. Let's start with establishing how many single-family homes there are and what portion of those are rentals owned by investors. According to SFR Investor, which studies the single-family rental market in the United States, there are 82 million single-family homes in this country. But how many of them are actually rentals? According to data shared in a recent post, 68 million, 82.93% of those homes are owner-occupied, meaning the person who owns the home lives in it. If you subtract that 68 million from the total number of single-family homes, 82 million, that leaves just about 14 million homes left that are single-family rentals. Do institutional investors own all of those remaining 14 million homes? Not even close. Let's take it one step further. There are four categories of investors. The mom and pop investor who owns 1 to 9 single-family residents. The regional investor who owns 10 to 99. Small national investor who owns between 100 and 999. The institutional investor who owns over 1,000 single-family residences. These categories show that not all investors are large institutional investors. To help convey that even more clearly, I don't know if we got this today. There is a chart. Of course, Josh has the chart for us. To help convey even more clearly, here are the percentage of rental homes owned by each type of investor. So you can see 80% are mom and pops, 1 to 9. We've got regional investors own 14%, small national investors own 3%, and the institutional investors own 3%. As you can see in the chart, despite what the news and social media would have you believe, the green shows that the vast majority are not owned by large institutional investors. Instead, most are owned by small mom and pop investors like your friends and neighbors. What's actually happening is that there are people out there just like you who believe in home ownership, and they view buying a home or a second home as an investment. Maybe they saw an opportunity to buy a second home over the last few years to use it as a rental and generate additional income. Or maybe they just decided to keep their first house rather than sell it when they moved up. So don't believe everything you read or hear about institutional investors. They aren't buying up all the homes and making it impossible for the average person to buy. That's just not what the numbers show. Institutional investors are actually the smallest piece of the pie chart. Bottom line, while it's true that institutional investors are a player in the single-family rental marketplace, they're not buying up all the houses on the market. If you have other questions about things you're hearing about the housing market, let's connect so you have an expert to give you the context you need. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com.